My name is August McLaughlin. I am the host and creator of Girl Boner Radio and the author of Girl Boner, The Good Girl's Guide to Sexual Empowerment. So the term girl boner is inspired by my childhood. In sex ed, which is an awkward experience for most of us, I remember learning a little bit about pleasure for males and nothing about pleasure for females. And it seemed really unfair to me. And then I started to learn how many people are affected by these issues all across the gender spectrum. And that really compelled me to do something with my creative work, to try to make a difference, to have an impact in a positive way. A good girl is somebody who has a huge heart, has strong values, has strong ethics, and really believes that they can contribute to the world in some way. They want to embrace their sexuality. To me, sexuality is a hugely important part of our whole self. I see it as very holistic in order to have a healthy sexuality. So I believe that our sexuality is a part of everything that we do. It's in the air we breathe. It's in the way we converse with people. It's something that when we embrace it, we get to live this richer, fuller, more authentic life. It's a very inclusive book. It's meant to help anyone who is curious about sexuality, specifically about female sexuality, to gender and sexual orientation. Girl Boner is really for anyone who's curious about sexuality, about female sexuality, and it's meant to be an inclusive book. I talk about not only people who have female genitalia by medical standards, but trans women who perhaps have a penis, intersex people who have perhaps ambiguous genitalia, asexual individuals. And we're realizing more and more that gender is not binary or based on our genitalia, which is beautiful, but I think it also has created a lot of confusion for a lot of people who want to be respectful and don't really know how to talk about it. So I have a special section dedicated to the definitions. I really hope that Girl Boner will reach people of all orientations, people of all gender identities, and perhaps be a bridge for people who have trouble discussing it with perhaps a loved one or a family member who might be wanting to come out as transgender, or wanting a loved one to understand what it means to be non-binary, and across the board to know what it is to lead an empowered life and to embrace your sexuality. Being a part of the communities I'm in at this time, when there's so much conversation around consent and people coming forward and telling their stories and coming out in all these different ways, is really exciting. It's something I've been wanting, as so many people have been wanting for a long time. And it feels like there is an eagerness and a hunger for the information. You can start embracing your girl boner by practicing self-awareness. We are all at a different place in our journey. And simply asking the question, how do I feel about my girl boner? Do I embrace my sexuality? Do I experience shame? Am I leading the full life and the sexual life that I want? And if the answer is no, or I don't know, start looking at that. Take an inventory of your life. I'm constantly learning myself. And I have journaling exercises throughout the book too. And I think journaling is a really powerful tool to get to know yourself and express your concerns and your thoughts and your desires in a place where you're not going to be judged by anyone. I really recommend sex toys and journaling as two awesome tools to embrace your sexuality. They both open you up to so much pleasure and greater understanding of yourself, and you can do both of them in the privacy of your own home, in a very non-judgmental space. It's just you and your vibrator, or it's just you and your journal. They're really powerful. I really believe that girl boner can become a lifestyle. I often say that it's all about sex and not at all about sex. You can practice girl boner philosophies in every aspect of your life. It's about self-acceptance, it's about self-awareness, it's about physical health, it's about sexual wellness, it's about setting boundaries and really strengthening the relationships in your life, starting with your relationship with yourself. I hope that people who read Girl Boner take away the message that they are okay, that they are embraceable, that their sexuality is beautiful, and that no matter where they are in their journey, that's completely okay. The more that we learn about our sexuality and really commit to this sexual embracement, sexual empowerment journey, all of the stuff featured throughout the Girl Boner book, the more likely we will be to feel more comfortable with ourselves. And I think that authenticity and self-acceptance are really at the heart of Girl Boner. So my Girl Boner journey started with a lot of body image issues, and I think that's really common. I personally developed a really severe eating disorder, and embracing my sexuality allowed me to heal. And I really believe that that is an area of our lives that is very debilitating for people. It's so important that people know, no matter what your shape or size, you are worthy of pleasure. We talk a lot about sexuality being this like progressive liberal thing, when in reality, sexuality is not a political belief. It's part of every one of us, no matter what we believe. And it was really important to me when I was writing Girl Boner, the book, to provide a resource for people who are religious and want to maintain their religion, who feel spiritual and want to stay spiritual, but also want to embrace their sexuality.